as we know, Russia seems to be running out of fighting service personnel. At least 300,000 people, it's been published anyway, have been injured to the point they can't participate, 100,000 of which have died. I don't know whether I believe this, but I've heard that's 85% of their current fighting force. Seems, pretty high. But obviously this is causing Putin a big problem in terms of mobilizing a fighting force. So what's the solution they're pursuing?
Both sides, both Ukraine and Russia, have lost a lot of people in this war. That's one of the reasons that Russia mobilized, 300,000 people, and the numbers, it's very difficult to get to the bottom of them, but as a proportion of their original size of army, it's a significant number have been lost. Now, you can either do another round of mobilization. Putin seems reluctant to do that, particularly on the eve of a presidential election, because he doesn't want to be seen. But the other way of keeping people in, which he has announced, is to extend their terms of service. In other words, rather than they used to be able to leave at the age of 51, apparently they've now mandated that it's 65 for troops and 70 for officers. So therefore you stop people leaving. What's fascinating, I think, is that pre-war, your life expectancy in Russia was about 64 years old. That's when the average Russian would have passed away. So by extending your service to 65 years or 70 in the case of officers, you're effectively making this a lifetime commitment to the service. That is really odd, really weird. Now, is it going to change materially Russia's frontline fighting capability? Well, with the greatest respect to our 70-year-olds around, they're not going to be the most active and dynamic on the battlefield. So it's not going to change the battlefield dynamics. Oh, here we go.
So I'm 73 next birthday, Sean.
Yeah.
And here's a video taken this morning, funnily enough, by chance, of me at the gym. So I think we'll have less of the 70-year-olds unable to match on the battlefield, if you will. But it's a problem mobilizing, sounds like you just recruit people. You've got to train them, prepare them. You've got to, clothing will have been lost, weapons will have been lost on the battlefield. All of that string of things just to get a person to the front fighting has to be done as well. That's an enormous task.
And as you say, it's even more complicated than that, because when you get somebody there, you've done all that training, they are still a rookie. They have no experience whatsoever. There's absolutely no replacement for battlefield experience.
And they're scared.
And therefore, if you can keep experienced folks on for longer, you get a disproportionate benefit in terms of experience. The downside is that you are clearly exceptional when it comes to physical attributes, but generally speaking, an army you want to have as a bunch of youngsters who can take the knocks, are very fit, and a great deal of endurance. And so this won't help them with that, but it will help with their experience.
Yeah. This looks like it's going on and on.
Not stopping anytime soon.
No.